Rangers lose 4-1 to the Winnipeg Jets. And overall, a game that I'm not too mad about because, listen, I didn't expect them either way to go 6 points within these first few games. I was satisfied with 2-1 in the first 3 games here because realistically, to win this many games early, it wasn't going to happen. And coming off a back-to-back, they weren't going to win most likely. And it kind of showed that they were exhausted later on in this game. I'm a little infuriated by the fact that they did have chances, but I'm infuriated because HELLEBUYCK on the other side was just robbing them nonstop over and over and over again. But that is besides the point. Before we jump into the recap, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially Ranger fans. Going to cover them all season long, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next. But this was an infuriating one because of the fact that, again, they had chances. First period, pretty ugly, though. Let's talk about it because Halak had to be tested very, very early. But Morrissey then went off for a holding penalty in this one. Rangers finally get their chance maybe to spark something here. And unfortunately, they couldn't. Mika Zibanejad had a chance, but then Artemi Panarin ended up negating it by taking a slashing penalty. And Winnipeg goes on the power play for a bit there towards the end. Scheifele got denied on 2 chances there on the power play, gets killed off. Mika then ends up passing it to Panarin, who was coming out of the box, and he was denied on the breakaway. HELLEBUYCK, beautiful stick save by him. And then 1-0 game as Mark Scheifele ends up getting a beautiful pass from Ehlers, and he ends up scoring that one. Fox and Lindgren nowhere to be found on that one, and you can't do that. You cannot do that as a defenseman. I don't know what they were doing behind the net, where they were trying to go, why they weren't positioned properly, but it's something that needs to be addressed because, quite frankly, if this team wants to go anywhere, you need to tighten up defensively, and that was not smart defensive hockey there. And we'll talk about a few more things later on that happened that weren't great defensively, but for the most part, I mean, they were at certain points in the game, which, again, we'll talk about all of it. But Hayek then left Demel wide open for a chance. Right after that, he ends up getting denied. And Fox and Kakko finally get the first real chances of the period. And Fox, just a beautiful little dancing move, gets it to Mika. Mika, though, ends up not being able to bury the chance there. But overall, I thought that was the worst period thus far of the season, if I'm being quite honest. 13-10 in favor of the Jets for shots in that period. They didn't play good defense. They didn't get any real good scoring opportunities until the end there. They got better as the period went on, but something that killed the Rangers last year that we have to remember too is they got off to slow starts constantly. This can't be a theme where they get off to slow starts and they have to come from behind. They need to learn to play a style where you get the lead and you hold it down. And example that we saw, opening nights, they ended up getting a lead, holding it down. You look at the game against the Wild. They got a lead and held it down. You get the point. It is a more effective way of playing hockey. It is a more effective way of winning games. Second period, a lot more action, though, in this one because there was a lot here. Halak had to make some saves early as Lowry had 2 chances there, but he went post there, too, on another save to stop Lowry backdoor as well. And the fourth line then had a solid shift, their first noticeable one. Trouba got a chance that ended up being denied. And then the first line ended up getting a great chance. Kakko with a backhanded chance gets denied. Lafreniere has to jump on the shift as Kakko takes a puck right to the chin. And he sets up Kreider, but Kreider could not bury the chance, which, oh, we'll get to another chance with Kreider later on in this game. But Laffy then with 2 great chances as well, had a spin move, ended up getting denied, and then a glove stop there from HELLEBUYCK. HELLEBUYCK just in our nightmares tonight, isn't he? Still not as bad as that Tredemko without the blocker on his hand. But yeah, this was just infuriating. Kakko then, another shot, denied in the slot. Second line with a great chance. Refs missed a hook there on Lafreniere as they tried to get a fast break into the offensive zone. Again, nothing called there. And the Rangers kept getting chances, but couldn't bury one through HELLEBUYCK. Then you had something that was a little more scary as DeMello's skate ends up cutting Ryan Carpenter in the head, and he looked fine going to the bench, and it looked like, oh, he just took a hit into the boards. Then they show his face bleeding like crazy, and you're like, oh, this guy's hurt. Yeah, he took a skate to the face, and he skated off like it was nothing, but it was something, and he didn't return for the rest of the game, unfortunately. Hopefully he will be okay. Like I said, scary injury there. And then Panarin denied on a 2-on-1 with Vinny Trocheck, as this one, I mean, the shot could have been better. He just shot it right to the chest of Connor Hellebuck, but sure. Mika then just misses a chance right in front with a wide open net, as the puck was just sitting right in front of it, when I kid you not, sitting right in front of the crease, and Mika couldn't end up burying that one. Barron, though, goes off for high sticking, and on the power play, Hellebuck just absolutely robs Kreider backdoor as Mika gets a chance. Kreider, though, on the second chance backdoor, couldn't bury it. Robbed by Connor Hellebuck. Twice there. Twice he was robbed by him. And again, infuriating. Kakko then moves in, tries to pass it to Laffy, but he couldn't get a stick on it. And then the power play ends up being over. Trouba makes a nice play on the 4-on-1 to stop Winnipeg there. Hedl, though, goes off for holding within the same sequence, so Winnipeg will then start the next period on the power play. Overall, though, very great period. Couldn't get a goal, though, at all. Couldn't get one. 21-7 in favor of the Rangers for shots. 21-7. If you want to look at the reason the Rangers lost this game, right there is your answer. Right there is your answer. 21 shots to 7. You need to score more there, and you tip your cap to Hellebuck, though. He played a hell of a game, hell of a period there, stood on his head, but it's just infuriating that the Rangers couldn't bury any chance there. And the power play didn't look great either tonight. Those were, I think we went over the 2 power plays of the night. Yeah, they didn't look great. But third period starts. Mika had a chance very early in this one to open the period, but ended up getting denied. Wheeler then gets a chance in front of the net all alone. Misses that. Lafreniere then with a great play, breaking the defender's ankles to set up Kreider in front, but the pass couldn't end up connecting. That could have been a chance. But the Rangers do finally get on the board as Panarin makes a beautiful pass. Trocheck, beautiful little spin pass over to Dryden Hunt, who snipes one top cheese on Connor Hellebuck to tie this one at 1. And I was feeling good. I was thinking, all right, you'll go to overtime, get a point. We're feeling good here, right? Halak just making big saves non-stop, made a big one there on Pierre-Luc Dubois in front, and the game started going back and forth. Kakko with a great chance gets denied. You have Barron then denied on a chance, going back and forth, and then Gagne ends up scoring as he gets 2 chances in front, and he ends up burying that second chance. That makes it a 2-1 game, and right there, you had a feeling that the game was over. But Halak then again making big saves on Ehlers and Connor there after that. And then you knew it was over when Trouba decides to flip the puck right over the glass when he had time, had space, and that ended up giving Winnipeg a power play, and they score on it as Mark Scheifele gets a chance wide open in front from the faceoff dot, and he ends up burying that one 3-1. Connor then with the dagger on the empty net, and that ends up sealing this game. Your final score is 4-1. And yeah, shots in the game 41-34 in favor of the Rangers. Faceoffs 51-49 in favor of Winnipeg. A little interesting considering the fact that the Rangers dominated Tampa in that first game, and they haven't really shown that faceoff dominance since, which I don't expect them to do all season long, but would like to see it a bit more. Power play went 0 for 2. Not good. That's part of the reason they lost. Winnipeg 1 for 3 on the power play, and that's part of the reason that they won. Hits 25-28 in favor of Winnipeg, 18 block shots for the Rangers, 13 for Winnipeg, and giveaways 20 for the Rangers, 17 for the Jets. Yeah, those turnovers were not helpful at all. Not at all. I could say that with certainty. But in terms of how each line performed tonight, top line, Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko, not as good of a night as we've seen for previous nights. I thought Zibanejad passed it way too much, especially on the power play. There were chances that he had to shoot the puck, and instead he passed it to Kreider or tried to find him backdoor for a chance. You can't be doing that. And then Kakko, he looked great tonight, though. I thought Kakko looked great. He had a lot of confidence, had a lot of good chances, 4 shots on goal. He's been looking great. I need to see him score on some more opportunities. Would be nice, but you're seeing so much more confidence from him, and I'm loving every second of it. And Kreider, 2 shots on goal from him. Didn't really do too much tonight. Was robbed on one of those chances. But outside of that, yeah, didn't really do too much. Very unfortunate there. For the second line, you ended up having, obviously, the same line that you did last game because they were very effective. Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere. Probably the best line of the night. Lafreniere was probably the best forward of the night. 5 shots on goal. Had a hit. He looked great tonight. Couldn't score a goal, but man, was he great tonight, and he needs to stick on that top 6 because he just looks so dominant. He looks confident, and he looks like a different player this year. Please keep him on the top line, even though Dryden Hunt scored for a shift with Trocheck and Panarin because, oh my God, does he look good. Panarin, solid game from him. There were times where I thought he tried to do too much with some of these east-west passes, and they didn't end up converting, and then you had the puck going the other way for Winnipeg to get some chances. But overall, yeah, could have been a bit better. 4 shots on goal. Had a decent game. Would like to see more. Trocheck, I thought, had a solid game, though. 4 shots on goal, getting that point as well with that beautiful spinorama pass. Solid game from Trocheck. Would like to see more, though, from him in the faceoff dot, 38%. We need a bit more, considering we were excited about him in the faceoff dot when we signed him. It's 3 games, but something to keep an eye on early here for. Third line, you had Gaudreau, Hedel, and VC again, and that line was not really noticeable in a positive way or a negative way. I thought Hedel was pretty noticeable. Played a bit physical tonight, too, and the 4 hits, definitely, you noticed them as well. Had a couple shots on goal. You noticed them as well. I thought he played pretty good on that line. Gaudreau also, I thought, was solid with 4 shots on goal. VC, though, has kind of been invisible, which is weird because the preseason he dominated, and we haven't really seen the same guy that we signed here. So going to be interesting to see how long he sticks in the lineup for, if he keeps being a bit more invisible like this, because he hasn't been noticeable, in my opinion, these 3 games. And then the fourth line, Reeves, Carpenter, and Hunt. Carpenter, of course, didn't play much, only 5 minutes in the game. Not going to really talk about his game. Unfair to, can't say much. Ryan Reeves, though, solid game from him. 3 hits on the night, and I thought he was noticeable as well. Not going to complain at all about the -1 because the forwards, it wasn't really their fault. Trouba and Miller were out of position on that second goal, and the first goal, you had Fox and Lindgren out of position. I'm not going to be too mad. This easily could have been a 2-1 loss, too, so I'm not overall, again, too mad here. Dryden Hunt, beautiful goal that he scored. Outside of that, not noticeable that much, but yeah, then we get to the defense. Not a lot that I liked. Lindgren and Fox, I thought, had a bit of a rough game. I didn't really like what I saw too much from Adam Fox. I thought he was lazy on a couple plays, turned the puck over a bit too much, if I'm being completely honest here. So, bit of an off night. Bit of an off night. You do better next time. And the defense definitely looked tired by the end of this game. They definitely looked tired, which the back-to-back, I think, didn't help this team. The back-to-back, you had 3 games in 4 nights. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Halak was the only one that showed up. He was the only one with the rest. And again, I say this all the time for the people that are like, oh, it's professional athletes. Again, going against other professional athletes. You had to travel. You're on short rest. I am not going to fault them too much here for getting too tired. But even then, they stayed in this game too. They really did. And I can't be too mad overall here. Miller and Trouba to round out the defense too. They looked solid at points in this game, but Trouba, that penalty, you can't take it. You cannot take that delay game penalty. It's unacceptable. You had time and space, and it happens, but you can't do that. And thankfully, it was in a game that was probably already over, but again, you can't do that. And then for Schneider and Hayek, I don't know why Hayek played. He was not good. Turned the puck over way too much. Zach Jones needs to play, and I don't care if Gallant wants Hayek to play more because he doesn't want him rusting on the bench. Jones is better. Play him. And Schneider was okay tonight. I thought he had a bit of an off night as well. But Halak, great night from him. He stood on his head and kept the Rangers in this game for the most part as well. But again, you got to tip your hat to Hellebuck. He played a great game, and that's part of the reason that the Rangers ended up losing this one. Honestly, most of the reason why, because the Rangers definitely had a lot of good chances in this one. But let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section. Would love to hear from you guys. Again, I'm not going to be too mad. It's your 3rd game in 4 nights. I wasn't expecting them to go perfect 3-0. I was happy with 2-1. Would have been okay, maybe with 1 and 2, depending how it happened. 0 and 3 is where I would have been upset. So I'm content with it. Not too mad. Couple things they need to clean up, but that's fairly obvious there. So yeah, overall, let me know your thoughts on the comment section about this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy it, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go Rangers.